Welcome to Total Financial Makeover with Debo at Dejana. Move from lack or barely enough to abundance. Renting to letting. From struggling to thriving. Blick to living the dream. Totally in control. Your head above the waters. Taking safe and superb financial decisions always.
Yes, it's another day, total financial makeover. You're welcome to today's episode. Yes, I'm here again. My name is Debo Adejano. You know now. You know your financial jailbreaker, escape crusader, and the emperor of the Your Landlord dynasty.
Okay.
And I have with me once again Rosemary Okurobo. You know, as they introduce people when they want to fight or fashion parade or something.
Drum beats.
You know, beats, I mean. So, I mean, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Today promises to be a very exciting episode because would you rather buy or build your first house? Would you rather buy or build? What will you do for your first house? Let's assume you've not built any house right now. Will you rather buy or build? Or if you've built one or two or three before, your next house, what are you going to do? Will you rather buy or build? That's what we'll be discussing today. So you know that it is very, very interesting. And it will be war today. Rose is smiling because she knows that she has lost already. Except I just want to be lenient, you know. It will be war today. You know why? Because we will take sides at least to start with. So I am rooting for buying.
Building.
So team buying.
Team building.
Okay then. So I'm saying that you should rather buy your first house or your next house. Rose is saying you should build. Well, before we know how we'll go, or before we start this battle, let's even go out there and ask people what would they rather do. So we have RIANAT on the street as usual, asking people around, would you rather buy or build a house? Would you rather buy or build a house? Okay, we'll be back. Enjoy this Vox Pop out there, RIANAT out there asking people. Yeah.
Hello, my name is RIANAT, and this is the Vox Pop session of the Total Financial Makeover Show with Debo Adejano. This morning, we are going to be talking about building or buying a house. Okay, we're going to be asking Lagosians if they prefer to build a house or buy a house. As for me, I would prefer to buy rather than build because I don't want to go through the process of, buying a land, getting documentation, survey, and all that, So this morning, we're going to be asking Lagosians their reason for buying a house or building a house. Let's hear what people have to say.
I prefer to build.
Okay, and why is that?
Because the materials that you are going to use to build the house, the people who you give it to build it will not use the quality material that you will use personally. Okay. Because most of this collab building we're having in Nigeria or in Lagos State is because of the inferior material that they are using.
I prefer to build to my taste than to buy the one that I've already built.
Okay, why is that?
Because I don't know how long the foundation is, whether the foundation is weak or not. So if I want to build a house or buy a house, I'll make sure I inform the engineer to build my house than me to go and buy house that is not sure for me.
I would like to build.
Why is that?
It will be more solid.
What if you give a developer the project to help you build to your taste? How about that?
It might be more expensive for me.
Someone like me now, if I want to have a house of my own, I would prefer to buy, not build. What would you advise someone like me?
Instead to buy, be yourself by your own. So you build it with your confidence. But when you don't buy already, you don't know the root from the beginning. You also what I mean, whether the foundation solid or not solid, you see. So better build by yourself, a good land.
When you are building by yourself,
You can point and say, tell the builder, this is the quality I need, and this is the quality I want. So building a house by yourself than buying is better than buying.
Okay, so you've heard different opinions about people wanting to build rather than buy. We even had few of them that advised me not to buy and rather build. So what is your own opinion? Please share with us in the comment section.
This is Total Financial Makeover with Debo Adejana, your financial jailbreaker and escape crusader, the emperor of the Sack Your Landlord dynasty.
Yes. Woo!
Welcome back. So you can say I won this one.
No, people, I don't know
I
the kind
want
of
this
people
one.
Rihanna is talking to. I don't know. How come? Nobody said they would buy.
Everybody's being conscious.
No, I think it's no. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. Can you imagine that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
why
imagine.
would you? Oh, no, I know that they said a lot of things. I mean, they kept saying foundation, the quality, the something, the taste. Well, what are the reasons why you think people should build?
Well, for me, on my own,
Yeah,
my first house, I would prefer I build it.
on your own by yourself.
On my own by myself.
For
Even if
yourself.
it takes me years to finish building,
You prefer you
I
build
prefer I
it.
build it.
Why?
Because one, I'll build it to the taste,
Taste.
the way I want it.
That keeps coming up. Taste.
Yes,
Okay.
the way I want it. Maybe mixing a bag of cement. Now, some people might use half bag of cement to mix and attach how many blocks, 50 blocks or 100 blocks. But I might decide to say I want to use 2 bags on 100 blocks so that the foundation and everything will be solid.
Your block will be strong.
My block will be strong. So
Okay.
that's my taste. And I trust myself more
Okay.
based on my income and how I
No,
spend
don't
it.
trust yourself. You don't trust yourself. You rented one chance. Who else will you trust if you don't trust yourself?
Yes, because if I'm buying from somebody now, or I'm giving a developer to build, that means I have to trust this developer. And it takes a lot to trust. To count my money like this and say, help me and build, it takes a lot. So I trust myself to know that I can use my money the way I want it and I'll get the quality of what I've paid for.
So that's one reason. Taste.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you see, without debunking what you're saying, okay, let me say this. To buy, let me just speak to that straight. I would rather buy. You know why?
Why?
Because guess what? I don't know so much about building.
Okay.
I don't know so much. So if I want to say I want to build by myself, how will I go about it? The headache is it that I will be going to the market looking for material? How do I know I'm buying the right material? I'm talking
What if
about
me, I like the stress of going to look for the material I want to buy?
Okay, if you like the stress, do you have the time for the stress?
I can
Because
create the
it's
time.
a different thing to like the stress. Okay, you can create the time. Okay, is the time worth your while? Is creating that time worth your while? What do I mean by that? For example, there are people who, how much is it to build a house? How much would they be trying to save? Maybe they will be trying to save, let's even say 10 million naira. You are trying to save 10 million. You want to build a house of, let's just be very generous. Let's say you want to build a house of about 25 million naira. And you are trying to see that you save money. The house, if you build it by yourself, it will cost 25 million, but you are trying to save money. So somebody else may cheat you and say, maybe you should come and pay, let's say 20% more. So maybe you should come and pay 30 million. So you are trying to save 5 million naira over a period of probably 3-6 months or 1 year. Let's put it that way. Let's say 1 year. Have you quantified the value of your time that you commit into that thing as against if you committed that same time into something else? Will you be able to get much more than 5 million? If I'll be able to get much more than 5 million if I commit my time to something else, why would I go and be spending it on site to save 5 million naira? It's not going to be a good use of my time. It's not going to be a good use of my time. I understand when people say to taste, maybe in the sense that I want my sitting room this size, I want bedding this, I want some particular things. I can as well look for properties that at least fit that model. Or have somebody that is just starting a property and say, hey, you know what? Build for me. This is what I want to be. too custom built for me. This is what I want to build. Not that I will go and build it myself. I don't think I have that
Okay, now
time.
talking about this buying, if I decide to buy, I may not have the money to buy because it's difficult to see where they will tell you, okay, for you to own this 3-bedroom right for 50 million, you can pay it for 2 years, you can pay it for 3 years. It's difficult because
it's not so difficult, but even that 2 years is not easy to come by.
It's not easy to come by. So what if I have a particular amount of money I can afford, and I feel that as the money is entering my hand, I'm laying a block or setting a block on my foundation.
So if I understand you are saying that one of the reasons why you want to build is because you are not sure you can get all the money required to just pay for a property.
Yes.
Or maybe, so why not mortgage? Why not you get some, maybe about 20% or 30%, and you take mortgage for the rest? Why can't you do that? You probably also won't qualify for mortgage or something. I know some people actually have that argument to say that I may not qualify for mortgage, or I may not be able to afford mortgage, you know, so I can't continue to pay mortgage for how many years? Paying for, no, I don't want to do that. So some people would rather say, look, I want to build at my pace.
Sure.
So I have 1 million naira now. Since I bought the land, I go commit the 1 million to the land. I see where it gets to. I have another 500,000. I go to site. I put it on it. I have another 200 today. I go there, and so maybe the building will take them maybe 3, 4 years, 5 years. But don't build like my dad. You know why I always say people should not build like my dad? Because if I remember, the house that he built in where he worked in Lagos particularly, I think he built for, if I want to be a bit modest, I would say probably for like 19 years.
19 years. Wow.
19 to 20 years was what it took him to build a block of 6 flats. On 3 floors. That's 2 stories, 6 flats.
Wow.
With a BQ. It took
19 years.
19 years. Building graduate. He's a civil servant, or he was a civil servant. He's retired now. He was a civil servant, so he was doing it gradually. Of course, we had moved into the property at a stage. We moved into it. I can say that we moved into it probably about 7 years after I started. And then the remaining of the
finishing
12 years, we were there building together. That's why I usually say that house is not his house alone. We were co-laborers in the house, so we co-own it. We should be sharing the rent and things like that. But the man would not agree. You know, so I understand that. People say, okay, yes, that's one reason why you probably want to build. But, I mean, for me, like I said, there is not, if I have the money, there is nothing I'm actually looking for that I can't get. People talk about quality and about all of those things. I about building collapse and all. I hope you know that if you don't have knowledge of a material, you can actually go to the market, in this our kind of market, and buy fake material.
Also true.
And if you stay on site, I've seen people stay on site and things are still happening right there where they are without them knowing. The artisan and people like that are still making away with things. Things are still going on. So your presence does not really guarantee that you have value. And I've actually spoken to people who, what happened was that they thought they were saving money in building, but by the time they calculated how much they've spent, it could have also been that they purchased the property. So at the end of the day, they were not better off. Really, they were not better off at the end of it. So that's what I say with people, okay? Don't just think that it is to buy or to build. I would prefer to build. She wants to, I would prefer to buy. She wants to build. We'll see when we come back. I think we'll go on a short break now, and we'll advance this discussion. She still has to tell us more about why she wants to build. Why I tell us about why I still think it is buying that is important. We'll be right back.
Did you know? With just 3,500 naira daily contribution, you can actually own a home. Invest now and secure something tangible for yourself and your family. We are still in the business of helping you. Sack your landlord.
Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back.
I'm sure you have something to say to that advert.
That advert alone has said it all. I think I don't know. Now I'm pained that you have actually defeated me in a way because
In a way?
in a
Whoa, have
way,
I defeated you?
because that advert has actually said it all. I mean, paying 3,500 daily to own a house, that's more like buying, and
That's
there's no
buying. It's
stress.
not building.
It's
And
not building.
have
It's
you
not
realized
stress.
that to get 3,005, to put 3,005 together, to amount to the
particular,
money you
yes,
need to go and build by yourself,
yourself,
you may not
yeah.
be able, you may not be disciplined enough to achieve that. By the time you
True.
do for 1 month, for 2 months, for 3 months, you may spend it.
Yes,
But if you are
definitely.
doing this every day, you know, and in no time, you become a property owner.
It's better. It's better. If you want to ask more, you need to know more about this 3,500 plan. This is the phone number for you to call. I think you should do this. You should call in and try to know more. And don't just call to know more. Be a part of it, because it will ease all the stress and any doubts that you might have about building. So you can call Benedict on 080 96 95 76 58, 080 96 95 76 58, or call Vivian at 081 72 70 3456, 081 72 70 3456.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's it. I would actually encourage that you look into that. It exists in some of our estates across the nation, okay, and even where we don't have, but we can have sizable number of people saying I want in this particular area, we can deliver that. 3,005, 2-bedroom bungalow, 3,005 every day. If you can save that aside, okay, you can own these properties. Well built. You may not be able to gather that together. So that's one other reason why buying is important. She won with the Vox Pop. I won with that advert.
But you know that not everybody is actually fully aware that a plan like this really exists.
Now they are aware. If you are watching this, now you are aware. So you know what to do.
So the money quote for the day is, if you can, you should. And if you are brave enough to start, you will. If you can, you should. And if you are brave enough to start, you will. By Stephen King.
Stephen King said that.
Yes.
If you can, you should. And if you are brave enough to start, you will. Well, applying that to what we are talking about, if you can, you should, and if you are brave enough, you will. That means if you really can build or can buy, you should.
You should.
Both actually requires some level of brevity.
Yeah.
Now, don't mind the fact that we were at war. She was team build, I was team buy. The truth of the matter is that for different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, true.
So there are people that may be able to build, okay, and there are people that would have to buy. Okay. What we are saying simply is that do the best that is for you, whether you want to build or you want to buy, because even if you want to build, you would have to buy the land at least.
True.
And then you start building. So reasons for wanting to buy or build varies, but be mindful. Now, this is what I actually, people need to be mindful of the fact that, look, don't think that you will just save time easily and you just save money. If you know about it, or even when you are building, you can get somebody that knows about it if you don't know about it. Otherwise, you realize that you are not really going to save money. Yeah, you may not really save money, because what will happen is that, they will swindle you. You'll be swindled. People will take much more from you, or they will steal things on site you will have to replace, or not use up to the things you bought and sell the rest. And that means they are not doing things to type, because there are standards for building. There are standards that should be followed. Once there should be a size of reinforcement iron rod that they are supposed to use for a particular foundation or for a particular decking, and they are not using it, it's reducing the size and it's compromising the integrity of that building. Now, if you don't know about it, you are just supervising. They say we will use this, we will use it. If you don't know about it, get someone that knows about it, or have somebody that you cross-check things that are happening on your site with. Very important. also for people that are buying. Buying does not solve all the problem. You also have to be sure you have to do due diligence on the people you are buying, do due diligence on what you are buying, and try to take responsibility for it as much as possible, because you can end up buying a lemon. Yeah, you can end up buying a lemon. So whether you are building or buying, just ensure that you are doing what is appropriate for your own resources. If you don't have so much money, money does not come to you at such like that in lump sums, or you can't qualify for a mortgage and things like that, or you can't sustain a mortgage, you probably want to build incrementally. Buy land, rest. Do foundation, rest. Do all of that, rest. I don't know what you have to say to wrap up on that.
Well,
for the team build.
Well, I would have still gone for building, but buying is also easier.
So buy or build depends on you are the individual, and what you have, what resources you have available to you.
Yeah, so I'll be calling in the numbers again. So in case you were not there or you weren't paying attention when I was calling in the numbers, for the advert, you want to know more about the advert, you want to inquire more, you can call on this number 080 9695 7658 080 9695 7658, and that's Ben. Or you can call Vivian on 081 72 70 3456 081 72 70 3456.
So you've heard from Rose there.
Yeah.
Buy or build depends on you. The resources available to you, the individual. So there is nothing that is wrong with buying, neither is there anything wrong with building. But you just have to know what is right for you, and it's a function of your person and the resources available to you.
True.
Okay? The size, the frequency at which they come, and things like that. That is what we inform. So don't let anybody bamboozle you to say that it's better to build or it's better to buy. No. I mean, for a lot of people, yes. Okay, now, take for example, for my first house, we're actually even talking about first house here. You see, my first house necessarily not be the house of my dream.
True.
That's what people need to realize. My first house need not be the house of my dream. Like this Besama Landlord regular advert now, that can be what somebody will use as his first house. It's a 2-bedroom bungalow, okay? 2-bedroom bungalow, 3-5. He may buy at that instance. But when life is better and things like that, he may want to build a mansion for himself.
Yeah.
You understand? So he can go and buy the land, buy like 1 acre somewhere, and then build the palatial home that he wants to build. That is another thing entirely, okay? So it is not about one is right, one is wrong. But for your first house, you probably want to make sure, because it's not about your dream home. So the issue of I want a particular taste and things like that may not really come in. If you are doing your dream home, sometimes a lot of people will definitely want to build. And I've seen people who have bought properties and they've converted it to their dream home. They renovated, they did a few corrections, because all of that is also available even when you buy, okay? And when you buy, there are a lot of advantages in buying, I must tell you that. As well as there are a lot of advantages in also building. You just look at what is appropriate for you per time. So this is where we would draw the curtain for this episode. I'm sure you want to say goodbye to the viewers out there. It's December already.
Yeah, that's true.
Rose,
should we start singing the
what are you
Jingle
going
Bell?
to? It's not only Jingle Bell. What are you going to? How is this Christmas going to be?
We don't know. We should be thinking of what we should do to our viewers.
What are we going to do for our viewers? Or what our viewers are going to
do for us?
Okay, so viewers, we've been bringing you very informative and relevant information the whole year. So please suggest in the comment box, what else do you want us to do? This period, for example, what do you want us to do? What do you want to happen this period? Let's hear from you. It will be lovely to hear from you as to what you want done this period. Wow, I can't believe it that we are in December already.
Already. Just how time flies.
Wow, we are in December already, and Christmas is just a few days to go. Well, I want to say Merry Christmas then.
Merry Christmas, should I?
And Happy New Year in advance. Why is it not coming out from your mouth? Why are you asking should you? It's already December.
Yeah, it's December already, but I don't know if some other people are feeling it the way we are feeling it. So I shouldn't start saying it already.
Okay, well, I think I will say it. Merry
Okay.
Christmas and Happy New Year in advance.
Thank you.
We know that this year has been very, very interesting.
Yeah.
For a number of people, it's been challenging. For a number of people also, it's been a fantastic year that they don't even want it to end. Because some have made the most money this year, while some have lost the most money this year. Last, we thank God that we are all alive. That is one thing to thank God for. If you are watching at all, it means that you are alive, and we need to thank God for life. So there is every reason to be grateful for seeing December. I pray that we'll see the end of the year, we'll see the new year, and we'll see many more years. So it's our pleasure. Thank you for joining us in this episode. We'll come your way again next week with another interesting episode. Till then, that is Rose Okurobo, and this is yours sincerely, Debo Adejano, the Emperor of the Sack Your Landlord dynasty.
Okay.
The
You must
financial
always put that one.
jailbreaker.
Okay.
Yes, Escape Crusader. The Emperor of the Sack Your Landlord dynasty. Saying bye. See you next week. Thank you.
Welcome to Total Financial Makeover with Debo Adejano. Move from lack or barely enough to abundance. Renting to letting. From struggling to thriving. Blick to living the dream. Totally in control. Your head above the waters. Taking safe and superb financial decisions always.